Good morning, students. Welcome back to the Rotary channel. We are studying the fifth unit, that is Children and Women in Sports. We have finished motor development and factors affecting it. Today we are going to study about exercise guidelines and at different stages of growth and development. We are also going to study common postural deformities. So the first point that we are going to study is about exercise guidelines at different stages of growth and development. Exercise or physical activity has the potential to improve the physical and mental health of the nation. Exercise is important for us to remain active throughout our lives. It is significant for infant, children, and teens for the growth and development. This continues through the preschool, school, adolescence. That is, the greater the volume of exercise or physical activities undertaken, the greater the health benefits that are obtained. Exercise or physical activity is also helpful in reducing the risk of depression. It also improves self precipitation, self esteem, mood, and sleep quality. It can be said, obviously, that exercise or physical activity is essential for the proper growth and development of an individual. So, we are going to study the following guidelines related to the exercise or physical activity in various stages of growth and development, in which we are going to study about first, that is infants, which is 1 to 2 years. During the stage of growth and development, physical activities or exercise should be encouraged. Gross motor activities or exercise should be promoted. Exercise to develop head control, sitting, crawling, etc. should be encouraged. Infant should be indulged in some exercise such as moving arms, legs, and reaching the various objects. Infants should be provided objects, toys, and games that encourages them to move and do things from themselves. They should be provided with safe environment for performing these activities or exercises. Watching TV and other electronic media should be avoided by the infants. Infants should not be restrained in the higher chairs for prolonged period. They should be encouraged to walk instead of using stroller to carry their arms around. Simple exercise like throwing, catching, and kicking a ball may be most suitable exercise during the stage of infancy. The second stage of growth and development is early childhood, which is from 3 to 7 years. During the stage of growth and development, such exercise or physical activities should be encouraged which help in developing competence in movement skills, throwing, jumping, catching, or kicking the ball. Emphasis should be laid down on the particular participants and not on the competition. During this stage, activities related to fine motor skills, that is, coordination, abilities, should be emphasized. Structured as well as unstructured physical activities should also be performed daily for at least 60 minutes. Recreative as well as enjoyable methods should be used to encourage them for participation in various physical activities. Stress should also be laid on clean and safe environment during the stage of growth. They may be allowed to watch quality TV programs for an hour. The third developmental stage is later childhood. The later childhood is from 8 to 12 years. During the stage of growth and development, child should be indulged in the activities such as stunts, throwing, jumping, catching, running, etc. So they can be acquired body control, strength, and coordination. However, activities related to endurance should be avoided. Stress should also be laid down on organized or team games, which aims to development, that is, which develops social consciousness in them. During this stage, children should be introduced to the competitive sports and taught the basic rules of sports and competitions. that is, enjoying the game, fair play, simple strategies, and tactics. They can also be introduced to the concepts of sports training and exercises that build endurance, which are aerobic exercises like running, swimming, and cycling, strength exercises, resistance exercises, and agility, coordination, and balance should be started. The fourth growth and developmental stage is adolescence. The adolescent stage is from 13 to 19 years. During this stage of adolescence, moderate to vigorous intensity exercise, physical activities is recommended for at least 60 minutes and up to several hours every day. They should be also indulged in muscle strengthening exercises at least 3 days per week. They should also include bone strengthening exercises. Adolescents or teenagers should reduce sedentary behavior. Physical activities or exercises such as running, gymnastics, push ups, jumping rope, playing hockey, basketball, swimming, tennis, and resistance exercises should be indulged. The fourth growth and developmental stage is adolescence. The adolescent stage is from 13 to 19 years. During this stage of adolescence, moderate to vigorous intensity exercise, physical activities is recommended for at least 60 minutes and up to several hours every day. They should be also indulged in muscle strengthening exercises at least 3 days per week. They should also include bone strengthening exercises. Adolescents or teenagers should reduce sedentary behavior. Physical activities or exercises such as running, gymnastics, push ups, jumping rope, playing hockey, basketball, swimming, tennis, and resistance exercises should be indulged. The next important point that we are going to study is the common postural deformities. There are various types of postural deformities. Mainly, there are two postural deformities: functional deformities and structural deformities. In these deformities, only the soft tissue like muscles and ligaments are affected. So, corrections of deformities is possible, which are functional deformities, and the other one is structural deformities. It occurs when our body structure is affected physically by physical activities and the person cannot play any significant role in the correction. Surgery can be helpful in such cases, which are known as structural deformities. There are various postural deformities, which are spinal curvature, flat foot, knock knees, bow legs, round shoulders. Spinal curvature. This type of deformity is related to the spine. This deformity is caused by carrying excessive weight beyond one's capacity. In other words, we can say that weak muscles cause the formation of spinal curvature. The normal lumbar spine is characterized by a moderate anterior hyperextension curve when viewed laterally. There is no absolute standard for the determination of the degree or extent of the anterior convexity of the muscle. There are three types of spinal deformities, which are kyphosis, lordosis, and scoliosis. So we are going to study first about kyphosis. So what is kyphosis? Kyphosis implies an increase or exaggerated of a backward or posterior curvature or a decreased or reversal of a forward curve. It is also called round upper back. Depression of chest is common in kyphosis. As shown in the figure, there are various causes of kyphosis. Kyphosis is caused by malnutrition, illness, crowded areas, unavailability of pure air, insufficient exercise, carrying heavy loads on the shoulders, unsustainable furniture, weak muscles, shyness among girls, habit of doing work by leaning forward. Corrective measures of scoliosis exercises are designed to correct the rotationary curvature of the spine. This exercise helps in a limited way to decrease curve angles. In fact, exercises do not play a very significant role in the corrections of scoliosis. The affected people are advised to participate in physical education programs, organized sports, and normal recreational activities. They may wear scoliotic braces. Some exercises which are described are hanging on bars, breaststroke in swimming, alienate assignment. The second spinal deformity is lordosis. Lordosis is the inward curvature of spine. In fact, it is an increased forward curve in the lumbar region. It creates problem in standing and walking. The body seems to be stiff. Lordosis can be corrected in the early stages. So what causes lordosis? Generally imbalanced diet, improper environment, improper development of muscles, obesity, and the diseases affecting vertebrae and spinal muscles are the causes of lordosis. In addition to this cause, not performing exercise and eating excessive food are also the major causes of lordosis. So now we are going to study about the corrective measures of lordosis. The first one is Sarvangasana, in which the persons lie down in the prone position with hands under the abdomen. Then keep the hips and shoulders down. Press your hand up and the abdomen and raise the lower back. Keep the asana for a minute, then come back to the same position as previous. The next one is toe touching. Sit straight, then kneel down to touch your toes, which is also known as Hastasana, Padhastasana. The next are normal sit-ups. We called it as crunches. That is, sit down with the knees extended, feet together and hands at a side. After that, bend forward touching the fingers to the toes. Hold the position for some time, then come back to the original position and repeat the exercise again. The next deformity is scoliosis. Postural adaptation of the spine in the lateral direction is called scoliosis. In fact, these are sideways curves and may be called as scoliotic curve. Indeed, these curves are identified as either convexity right or right convexity. A simple or single curve to the left or convexity left is commonly called as C curve. Scoliotic curves may be found in S shape. Scoliosis may be due to the main reasons, but this main reason are diseases in the joints of bones, underdeveloped legs, infantile paralysis, rickets, carrying the heavy loads on the shoulder, unhealthy conditions such as inadequate lighting arrangement, uncomfortable desk, partial deafness, and wrong standing posture. It may be also caused by congenital to acquired abnormalities or vertebrae, muscles, or nerves. Corrective measures of scoliosis exercises are designed to correct the rotationary curvature of the spine. This exercise helps in a limited way to decrease curve angles. In fact, exercises do not play a very significant role in the corrections of scoliosis. The affected people are advised to participate in physical education programs, organized sports, and normal recreational activities. They may wear scoliotic braces. Some exercises which are described are hanging on bars, breaststroke in swimming, alienate assignment. Previously, we have studied about various deformities of spine, that is, spinal deformities. Now we are going to study about round shoulder deformity. In this postural deformity, the shoulder becomes round and sometimes they seem to be bent forward. That may be caused due to hereditary. Sitting, standing, and walking in bent position may also result in round shoulder. Wearing very tight clothes can lead to a round shoulder. Sitting on improper furniture can also cause round shoulder. Lack of proper exercise, especially of shoulders, may also lead to a round shoulder deformity. Becoming habitual to press the chest, especially at the time of bench press, may cause round shoulder. The corrective measures for round shoulders. Round shoulder is a common postural deformity. It can be corrected with the help of following exercises. Chakrasana, Ustrasana, and hanging may correct round shoulders. Let us keep your tips of the fingers on your shoulders and rotate your elbows in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction for some time. Hold the horizontal bar regularly for some time. Perform Chakrasana and Dhanurasana for some time. This may help to correct your round shoulders. Next deformity is flat foot. Our feet acts as the base support for the body while standing, walking, running, and jumping. Flat foot is commonly found among newborn babies, but it becomes a postural deformity if it is still persists during the later childhood. The children with flat foot deformity cannot become an efficient sportsman. Such children feel pain in their feet when they run. They face problems while standing and walking. It is easy to observe whether a person has a flat foot deformity or not. Dip your feet in water and walk on the floor. If there is not a proper arch of footprints on the floor, then you have the deformity of flat foot. In fact, there should be a proper arch of the feet for healthy feet. The main cause of flat foot is weak muscles. Weak muscles of the flat foot cannot bear the body weight, hence they become flat or without arch. Along with this, rapid increase in body weight, improper shoes, and carrying heavy weight for a longer period of time also causes flat foot. The corrective measures of flat foot. The deformity of flat foot can be corrected with the help of the exercises like jumping on the toes for some time, rope skipping, stand up and down on the heels, walk on the toes, sit down properly, try to grip small wads of paper with your toes. These pieces of paper should be picked up by gripping forcefully using your toes. This may help to correct your flat foot. These exercises or physical activities should be done regularly for a long duration to get good results. This corrective measure should be employed immediately after the detection of the deformities. In the later stage, it would be difficult to correct these deformities. The next deformity is knock knees. Knock knee is one of the major postural deformities. In this deformity, both the knees knock or touch each other while in normal standing position. The gap between the ankle goes on increasing. The individual faces difficulty in walking and running. He cannot walk or run in a proper manner. Owing to this deformity, people cannot be good players and may not be selected in defense services. Knock knees generally is found in those who have those who lack balanced diet, especially vitamin D, calcium and phosphorus is the main cause of knock knees. It may also be caused due to chronic illness, obesity, flat foot and carrying heavy weight in the early ages. Corrective measures for knock knees. Generally, the deformity of knock knee cannot be corrected through exercise during late childhood and adulthood. But this deformity can be corrected up to some extent through exercises, particularly when it is detected. The favorable results of exercises can be achieved during the phase of early childhood. Horse riding is one of the best exercise for correction of knock knees. Keep a pillow between the knees and stand straight for some time. Both the feet should touch each other. Use of walking calipers may be beneficial. Perform Padmasana and Gomukhasana regularly helps to reduce knock knees. Active measures for bow legs. The role of exercise in case of bow legs is approximately the same as that of the knock knees. The deformity of bow legs can be corrected up to some extent during the early phases of childhood. During later childhood and adulthood, exercises don't play a significant role. The exercises that can be beneficial for the correction of bow legs are by doing Ardha Machindrasana, walk for some distance on the inner edge of the feet, walk by bending the toes inward, perform the asanas like Garudasana, Ardha Chakrasana, and Ardha Machindrasana. This was all for this today's part 2 lecture. We'll continue the remaining points in the next chapter, the part 3. So we are going to study corrective measures for postural deformities, sports participation of women in India in the next part. Till then, thank you, take care.